this definition of terms that I am giving to you, again, would not be placed into your study. This is information for you. The definition of terms is actually a glossary or a dictionary that defines the words the researcher is using in the study. But we don't make them up. We have to use credible, research-based sources. Your definitions should not come from the dictionary. Your definitions should come from your research that you have conducted. You will cite the source from which they were derived, following the Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary style manual. We will set our definition of terms in Chapter 1. We may need, once we have completed Chapter 2, to return to Chapter 1 and expand the definition of terms. We don't want anything in the review of the literature that would in any way be unclear to the reader. And so we want to go back and make sure that in Chapter 1 we have defined everything. But when you write Chapter 1, you will not have completed all of your research. So we may need to go back and revisit that. Example. If we want to lay down from the study on immigration, if we want to lay down what is the home economics, family and consumer science definition professionally, we would want to go to a credible source. This particular one came from the AAFCS website. And we would want to define it clearly and succinctly. And so we look at that definition, we see that home economics, family, and consumer sciences strives to improve the quality and standards of individual and family life by providing educational programs, influencing public policy, and through communication. Our definition of terms can be any number of words or terms. When we get them all in order, there are some specific formatting techniques that we want to use. The first thing is to alphabetize the list. With your computers, you are able to go right into the middle of the document and alphabetize as you go along. Capitalize the first letter of each term. You then want to underline the term and insert a dash. And that's on your computers, if you do 2 hyphens and then hit return, it will make your dash. You then want your definition. If you look at this particular example, then you will see that we have the term, underlined, our dash, and then the actual definition. The final thing that we have is the source of where it was derived. You're going to word process the definition, and then you will cite the source using the Southwestern style manual. It should be a research publication wherever possible, rather than a dictionary or a popular magazine. Several things that will help you in keeping your citations correct and making sure that you don't have to go on a scavenger hunt at the end of your project will be, first of all, start your bibliography right away. Every time that you use a resource, get the full bibliographic citation plugged into your computer. It is no fun to have to go back and try to do a scavenger hunt because you have forgotten to put down the source. So start your bibliography page right away. Secondly, discipline yourself to always write down a page number where the information came from. Now maybe your eyes are a lot better than mine are. But when I forget to do that, and then I go back and try to find it, I can read the page over and over again, and I know that it's on that page. And for some reason, my eye just skips over it. So write down the page number right away. Don't get so embroiled in your research that you forget to do that and then have to go back and try to retrace it again. The other thing that I would strongly urge you to do is, if you use, and many of you will do that, if you use online resources, as much as possible, either email them to yourself or print them. And start a file that for each of the subtopics that you're going to have in the review of the literature, stick it into that file so you can go back and find it easily. I still like the hard copy. Many of you can work off of the computer. My eyes just get too weary with the looking back and forth. If I've got the hard copy, I can mark it up and color on it and all of those things. Identify the strategies that are going to make you most successful. If you're going to print out hard copies, get a file box and organize them in the order of your subtitles so that you don't lose things. It is so easy to have 2 or 3 pages of a printout and shove it in a notebook someplace and then not be able to find it until after the project is over. And you're going, I had this really good resource and then I can't find it. The final thing that will go in your Chapter 1, and you will find that we will be introducing what we have done in Chapter 1 and then projecting what we will do in the next 5 chapters. That will happen every time until we reach the final chapter. And so when you make this statement once, you will be able to edit it for the subsequent chapters. The description of the organization for research answers the following questions. The first question that it answers is, who participated in the study?